What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Canadian news. Because as an American, I never get to see Canadian news here in the United States from any of our news or media outlets. So today, I'd like to take some time to learn about the current news and events happening right now in Canada, starting with breaking news. Ontario woman who faked pregnancies, scammed doulas, sentenced to 2 years of house arrest. Where this is coming full circle. This is an article, a headline that we read about like 2 or 3 weeks ago about this lady in Ontario who did the fake pregnancies and scammed people and lied about this and wasted everyone's time and caused emotional distress. And we're actually getting some resolution to it. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. So, how's this end? She's sentenced to 2 years of house arrest. Okay. A Brantford woman who has pleaded guilty after harassing and fraudulently seeking the services of Ontario doulas. Doulas. I had to look that up last time. That's like someone who provides emotional and physical like support to pregnant women or women who have given birth, I believe. So it's a real travesty to waste someone like that's time, you know? That's taking away from another woman who's going through childbirth. So that's pretty horrible right there. Wasting doula's time. And then she was sentenced on Wednesday to 2 years of house arrest, 3 years of probation. 2 years of house. She's not going to jail, huh? Is this I'm no judge, nor should I be. But as a guy on the internet, I'm gonna make an internet judgment right now. Is that like enough house arrest? Like that's I imagine she's pretty like happy with that ruling. House arrest and probation, you know? And if the criminal is happy with the sentencing, is that like a good result? You know what I mean? She learned about her fate nearly a month after over a dozen spoke of the devastating impact her actions had on their lives. Over a dozen victims? Like, she tried to ruin like over a dozen people's lives by pretending they got her pregnant, and she's probably gonna try to get like money out of them and stuff and support and wasted doula's times. Really pretended to be pregnant. I didn't know it was over a dozen victims. Like, I'm kind of really starting to think this is not like harsh enough. 2 years of house arrest, so she has to stay at her house for 2 years. Like, I don't know. Like, in this day and age, is that really that big of a punishment? You know, you go turn on the TV, order a pizza, like play some video games, like whatever. Heck, you can slap on a virtual reality, one of those new Apple virtual reality headsets, and walk around and act like you're outside. Is house arrest really that bad anymore? For some people would love to be under house arrest. They're like, can't leave home anymore. Dang it. Ah, man. Well, guess I just get to lounge around all day. A Brantford woman who faked pregnancies, harassed, fraudulently sought services of doulas across Ontario, sentenced Wednesday to 2 years house arrest, 3 years probation. Caitlin Braun pled guilty, 21 charges. Wow. Fraud, indecent acts, false pretenses, mischief. Of the 52 she faced for seeking the help of doulas, what ended up being false pregnancies and false stillbirths. Oh my god, this is just horrible. What a sick crime, honestly, like around this topic as well. Um and imagine if she had gotten away with this, like, and actually ruined like over a dozen people's lives, you know? If this had actually not been caught, if she hadn't been caught and brought to justice, that would have been like horrible. So I don't know about this ruling. This is a light ruling. Is that the American in me like shining through here? Am I just too like American and like, lock them up, throw them in jail, make them learn never to do that again. But seriously, that's really bad, and I am happy to see that some form of justice has happened as a result, so that's good. Funny that we got a resolution on that. We were reading about that like a few weeks ago. Okay. What else do we have here? Why some Prince Edward Island bus drivers are getting fed up with their new electric school buses? Really? Is it not the future? Are we not happy with the future? Electric school buses. It's supposed to be great. We fully understand and expected there would have some growing pains. He looks like a happy, jolly Prince Edward Islander, if you ask me, but maybe he's posing for the picture. I thought they're supposed to be upset with what's going on here. 3 years ago, Prince Edward Island government rolled out new electric school buses. That's cool. Going green, good for the environment. What? Drivers say the buses are plagued with problems. 16 to 18 of the vehicles in the shop at a time? Out of a total of 100? Why? Why do they need so much like shop time, so much upkeep? What are the problems? The biggest problems are with the heating systems, leaving some buses icy and cold, windows fogging and freezing up, air compressors freezing, can interfere with braking. Oh my god. Yeah, what the heck? Did they not properly test out these electric school buses? Maybe the Prince Edward Island climate conditions are what wasn't properly tested. Yeah, I could absolutely see getting fed up about that. That's terrible. Yeah, this is supposed to be like a cool, nice thing, an upgrade, going into the future. And instead, you're just sitting on a cold electric bus. Can't see out the window, it's all foggy. And got to drive it back to the shop every other week. That's not good. What else do we have here? 12 Ontario men and 1 American, okay, arrested in Niagara for trafficking young people? What? Human trafficking? In Canada? By Niagara? What? 13 men arrested at Niagara Falls Hotel. At Niagara Falls Hotel? That's a nice hotel. It like overlooks Niagara Falls, right? What a view for a human trafficker to be having. This is like, what the heck? And charged in connection with human trafficking of young people. Oh my god. This is something like they always tell you to be wary of, like human trafficking and stuff. And I feel like you never really think about it all that seriously. Or at least I never think about it, like probably as seriously as I should. Then you read something like this, where it's just happening, like by Niagara Falls. Like what the heck? Yeah, I'm kind of glad about this article being here, bringing it to the light here. The suspects, who are 20 to 60, face charges related to child luring, obtaining sexual services, inviting sexual exploitation of young persons. Thank God these people have been caught and arrested. And one guy from Buffalo, New York. Whoa. Wow. Okay. That is not something I expected to read about today. But thank God they're caught. And I think it's always good to bring attention to this subject. Holy cow. Yeah, be careful out there, especially with your kids. This is just like in Niagara, Canada, Ontario. Wow. Okay. Disgraced police officers role dooms charges in $30 million drug bust. What is this? There's oftentimes, when I'm noticing, a lot of like interesting articles in the Canadian news about like Canadian police and weird stuff like this. Officer and the police complaint commissioner has ordered probe into Project Juliet. What is Project Juliet? What is all this? Oh my god, these drugs and salt shakers? No, those are coins. And money? This investigation resulted in the 3 arrests and $3 million worth of fentanyl seized. Today the case lies in tatters. That's what I'm kind of scratching my head about. Like, why is this case in tatters? Charges against all three were quietly stayed following the revelation that the initial probe included an officer who was himself under criminal investigation. What? It involved Rob Ferris. Wait, disgraced former Victoria police officer. Rob Ferris was involved in the investigation? Just because this police officer was involved, and they're like disgraced and questionable and being investigated, the whole investigation into this drug bust has to be thrown out? And these three people just get to go free? What? Maybe I'm not understanding correctly. That's wild. Okay. All right, let's keep moving along here. See how much we can get through today. His dream home had it all, except enough heat to warm him. What? I don't know. What? Looking for a soulmate. It's a trap, researchers say. What? Hey, what? Is that a good thing to say? And during Valentine's? Well, Valentine's Day was yesterday. I hope you had a nice Valentine's Day. Except you might not have if you're listening to this article, because it says looking for a soulmate is a trap. What is this? What? Believing in the one can be detrimental to relationships. Oh, okay. Is this like saying, like, thinking that your partner is going to be this amazing, glowing, like, perfection of a human being, perfect counter to your soul, and like all that, putting them on a pedestal, thinking it's going to be the perfect, you got to look for the perfect relationship and never put any work into it, or, you know, God forbid have like a disagreement. No, all that stuff is perfectly healthy. Maybe that's what this is trying to say. So Yuan Thompson and her husband have been together since 2008. At first, they believed they could be soulmates. They had an initial spark. She says it was dedication and tough work that made them a lasting couple. Okay. I was like, what is this article getting at? And right after Valentine's Day, don't look for your soulmate? What? It's a trap? No. Probably do your best to look for your soulmate, and maybe your soulmate happens to be someone who you have disagreements with, or you have to work on your relationship and put effort into it and show commitment and love as you progress through the crazy ride of life. There you go. That's the Tyler romantic advice for today. Watching what polar bears resort to eating when there's no sea ice for hunting. Are polar bears running out of sea ice? Oh, is this like global warming? Or the bears have many tactics to find food during ice-free times, but some still risk starvation. No, this sounds like seasonality. There's less ice at certain times of the year. And the polar bears, what do they have to eat? What do they have to eat? When there's no sea ice, and those times are getting longer due to human-caused climate change, pickings are more meager. What are they eating? Some bears stayed on land and did very little, conserving energy, living off fat reserves. If only we could all do that, huh? Just sit around at home, living off our fat reserves like a polar bear. That'd be great. Others scrambled for food, berries, plants. But nearly every bear lost weight, so polar bears are kind of struggling. Okay, interesting article, interesting stuff. Very Canadian news talking about polar bears. That's funny. What else do we have here? Let's look here. Anything interesting? Government scrapping online license plate renewal will be done automatically. Thank goodness. There should be so much more stuff like that. Like like taxes. Taxes. I don't mean to go on a tax rant, but I've seen funny like memes and videos about like, oh, so you have to calculate your taxes. Yes. And if you're wrong, you get a big penalty. Yep. But the government knows exactly how much you owe. Yeah. So they could just tell you like how much you got to pay for taxes, huh? Yeah, I guess they could. So why doesn't that all just happen automatically? Why do we have to bust out our calculators and what does that have to do with license plate renewal? Barely anything, but I wish they were both automatic. And I am jealous that Canada is going to an automatic license plate renewal system. That is the way it should be in 2024. What else do we have here? Historians say collection of hundreds of World War II love letters offers glimpse into humans' sides of history. Oh, that's amazing. World War II love letters. Wow. Oh, you could spend all day reading that kind of stuff, especially right after Valentine's Day. Okay. And police recover 2 bodies from Ontario Lake because we were having too much wholesome fun for the last few minutes, and we need dead bodies to be found, of course. 3 people reported missing Sunday evening, 1 found safe. That's good. Bodies in Charleston Lake. Oh my God. I hadn't heard anything about this. Eastern Ontario, Monday, they recovered bodies of 2 missing people who fell through ice. Oh my God. Damn. My heart goes out, seriously, to like their families and loved ones. There's no joking matter. Bodies of 2 people reported missing. At least they were found. But that's very sad. They had actually been hiking, not trying to fish. One person was able to get out of the freezing water. Oh my God. So all of them like fell through ice. One of them was able to survive? Wow. That's horrible. That's very sad. Dang. What else do we have here? As lighthouse keepers, we kept our love alive through the endless storms. That's lovely. You love to see it. Let's scroll down a little bit more, see if there's anything else we want to take a quick look at. 2 years to Italy. An early look at Canada's potential Olympic women's hockey roster. 2 years to Italy? Is that like Winter Olympics? Is it in Italy in 2 years? Summer Olympics are coming up pretty soon, I think, huh? Retired Vice Admiral Edmondson denies sexual assault, exposing himself to woman. God, there's a lot of sort of articles like that in that kind of realm, unfortunately, I see every week. Facing severe physician shortage, feds offer loan forgiveness for some doctors. Whoa! Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Here in the United States, it can cost you $200,000, $300,000 to become a doctor by the time you're done taking out loans for medical school. If you got that forgiven, forget up to $60,000 for doctors in remote rural areas. Oh, okay. Oh, I like that. In small areas where more doctors are kind of needed, less populated areas, it's a bid to increase the number of doctors and nurses in rural and remote areas, offering a government incentive for that. I like that. Why can't the American government do stuff like that? That's like a perfect example of something practically useful to do with taxpayer money. Okay. Help promote physicians and nurses when there's shortages. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anything else here? What's the buzz? Alberta is the powerhouse of Canada's honeybee industry. Really? Alberta, Canada's honey industry. I didn't know anything about that. Very cool. Saskatoon breast cancer patient still waiting for surgeon consultation 5 months after finding a lump? That is terrifying. This is maybe the one critique I've heard of Canadian healthcare, which seems by all metrics better than the American healthcare system in all ways, but in some parts of Canada, and this is true for some parts of America, you can end up waiting a scary amount of time for really, really critical sorts of doctor consultations. Like, you don't want to sit around for 5 months with a breast cancer lump. Obviously. That's very scary. Very scary. Latest blast of winter closes schools, disrupts travel in Nova Scotia. Really? I was learning about that the other week as well. How much snow has been blasting like Nova Scotia and the surrounding area. School's still closed. Wow. Man, missing a lot of school. It's nice to be a kid in Nova Scotia right now. Get to stay home all day. No school. Anything else here? Um, I'm trying to read these kind of quickly, see if there's anything interesting. Oh man in custody after 5 people, 3 children found dead in Manitoba. Sad, 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 sad. Um, Anything else? Canada completes reverse sweep of United States in Game 7 of rivalry series for second year. What? Wait a minute. I didn't hear anything about this. I think America keeps this out of the news on purpose or something. We don't want to talk about getting slaughtered by in Canadian hockey matches. We don't need to hear about it. I didn't hear about that, but I can't say I'm shocked that Canada did that to us in hockey. Um, okay. Well, I think that's actually pretty good for today. I got a really good idea of some of the interesting things and news stories. Some were, sad. I'm sad to say. Others were pretty interesting, but as always, I'm happy to be more in the know and stay on top of what's actually happening in Canada right now. So for that reason, I enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these news stories or other stories I may have missed. That'd be fantastic. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.